To some people they say, how had he set a date for the divorce?
Okay, so we talked about the divorce a lot.
Okay, that's what I want
And
to talk about.
yeah, we talked about that a lot. Because I was like, first of all, I don't want to move somewhere together if you still legally tied to her. Because that's a problem for me and my business. That's gonna mess up my money, my situation. I ain't got time for that. I
When did
need
you
y'all.
make that decision? Before you moved out of the house in Lawrenceville, or
No,
I mean, when did you make?
I was saying this before I left.
Okay,
I was
got you.
saying, oh no, I was on his ass about this
Okay,
divorce. Oh
okay,
no, I
okay.
was not
That's
playing.
that's what I'm trying to hear. That's what I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah,
hear. And what is he
I
saying?
was there. And he's like, okay, we've been meaning to sign our divorce papers. It's something that we've been thinking about doing, but we haven't been able to do it because we don't have the money to divorce. Because I think in Atlanta, I think it's $300 to divorce. So he was asking
$12
me, is what?
I said $12 an hour. You got to work like 2 weeks and 3 or 4.
You know
I'm sorry.
what I'm saying?
You $12 an hour. That's $480 a week. You got to take out 35% for taxes. So that's gonna bring out $120, and you
Yeah.
bringing home $295 a week. You can't do it. You got to work three
Yeah, he
weeks to
was.
do it. I get it. I understand that.
Yeah, so both of them was like kind of struggling financially. So he asked me for the money. And I said, I am not, that's not my business. I love
No.
you, but y'all got to deal with that. That's y'all. Y'all got to end that for us to move to do something else. And so one day after, at the end of June, he was supposed to meet up with her. I know the date. It was like June 23rd.
Okay.
And that was the day them two met up and signed their divorce papers. And she was supposed to file them that day, but didn't.
Wow.
And I didn't know they didn't until later on. Okay.
Oh, so you thought he did?
Oh yeah, I thought they was. Listen, them two was not playing when they told me that shit was over. Like
Okay.
both of them. This was coming from both of them. This wasn't him just selling me some pipe dream. She was
I
saying
got
the
you.
same thing.
Is that
She
some
was saying
pipe?
the same thing.
Listen,
So
I want you to talk to Catherine right quick. Hold on. Catherine asked a question. She said, I'm wondering, and this is not Jim. Let's listen to the whole thing before you say it. She said, I wonder what you're missing as a woman to want a man who's not enhancing you but taking away from you. Red flag after red flag is in this story. What's the background with your father? What relationship dynamics did you
exactly.
witness growing up? So,
Exactly.
so what was your relationship like with your father?
Thank you, Catherine. What I love your people. Because your people you know what I'm saying?
My people think we're called the intellectual stew for a reason. Now, some of us are
Exactly.
gonna mess with you a little bit because Coy's messing. She said, "Yeah, you had a pipe, it just wasn't with a dream." But so Coy's gonna do that. So we do that kind of stuff. So, but Coy, she said the pipe was premature, so it wasn't really like the pipe was real performing like that.
It
She
wasn't.
was. What I'm hearing from her is she was so in love. They called him Captain Saver back in the day. But maybe you had to Captain Save a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You trying to save a nigga? I don't know. Y'all forgive me, everybody. Don't know. I don't know what
Listen.
it is. I don't know what it is. So
I
answer the
told
question.
y'all what it
What
was.
question you want her to answer, Ashley? I'm sorry. The
No,
one
I'm
about
gonna
your
answer.
relationship with your
I'm gonna
father. Okay,
answer.
go ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
answer all of it. So I have been single so long because I've been most of my
Okay.
adult life celibate,
Okay.
right? Because I promote celibacy,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have been single for so long. And the men in my audience, remember, I was a dating coach for men for 20 years.
Okay.
So men were telling me, well, the reason why you're still single after all of this time is because you're in your own way.
Okay.
And so when I met him, I was moving. That was me moving out of my own way. But
Mm-hmm.
even though this man gave me red flag after red flag after red flag, I didn't trust my own intuition enough. I didn't trust me enough to say, hey, Soncerae is telling you something's wrong. You know something is wrong. Why won't you leave? Because I wanted to be married so bad. And I wanted to
Wow.
be married to him so bad. And I felt like that relationship was going to be the last time I tried with someone. And I told him this. I was like, this is going to be the last time I even put forth the energy to try to be with a man. And I'm going to do everything that I can to try to work this out because I can't do it anymore after this. You know what I mean? I can't. I want to love someone. I want someone to love me. I want a family. You know, I want to be held at night. I want a man to cook for.
Wow.
I want to get a dog. You know, I want to take walks in the park. And mind you, we was doing all this cool shit together. I mean, we was hiking, picnicking, going out to the movies all the time, going out to eat. I mean, we was all over the place. We had
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah.
Okay, outside of all this other stuff that we was dealing with, we had a good time together. Okay,
Yeah.
and even when we were sleeping in the back of his Explorer, we used to watch the stars together. You know, we used to hold hands and enjoy the night air. It wasn't always bad.
Fairy tale type
So
stuff, huh?
it was good. And now I get that there's a possibility that he was love bombing me because he just needed someone to give him a place to stay. Because she probably was mad and wasn't having it and didn't want him living there anymore because he finally found a woman that he was interested in. Because, like I said, he was sleeping with other women before I came around. He just never connected to any of them like he did me. He was in a full blown situation. He was with me all the time. Like I
Wow.
was taking him to work. I was making him lunch or giving him money for lunch
Mm.
sometimes and picking him up and dropping him off and you know and
Yeah.
encouraging him to go to family functions. I was going to the family functions with him because she was distancing him from his family. So he wasn't seeing his family. The whole 15 years he was married to her, he barely saw his family. And me, I'm a very family oriented person. So I was encouraging him to be around his family more. So he was going to family functions, 4th of July, out to dinner, going to Papados together. We was having a good time. So it was easy to think we was headed in a positive direction.
I see
Then
it.
and we was doing live streams together. If you go on my YouTube channel, we got live streams up there of us talking about being married. We
I
was
saw it.
you saw you
I
saw oh you
saw it.
did you
That I
saw it
saw it, but this is my thing. Found everything starts with a foundation. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And,
and it
and
was
if the
rocky,
foundation is fractured or
right,
fragile or frail, you just can't really build anything strong. And I
right.
got you. We're not judging you, man. Melinda said, "I feel you, Soncerae." What's called it? Catherine is talking about how narcissists act. Uh, Corey said she thinks it was love because y'all were content in any condition. It takes a special woman that'll sleep in the back of a Ford. For what was it, Bronco? What you say? What Explorer, Ford Explorer. And I'm not
Not the
making fun of that.
Bronco,
Believe me, because that is more than a
not the
notion.
Bronco.
To do that. You know what I mean? I'm
I
not
didn't
making. You know,
I
did you
didn't want to
think?
leave him. I didn't
Okay.
want to. I was like, if we can get through this.
Did you not want to leave him for you, or did you not want to leave him for him? Do you felt like he couldn't make it without you, or you felt like you couldn't
I
make it
think
without him?
I felt like he couldn't make it without me,
That's what I'm
cause
hearing.
cause he kept saying, please don't leave.
Don't save him. You remember that song? They don't want to be saved. Don't.
Stop making jokes out of my pain. I'm just,
No,
I'm just messing with you. I'm just
that's
messing
just
with you.
my baby dad. I get, but no, but listen. So now
Anyway,
y'all have gone through the you moved in the
oh
back
okay,
of
yeah.
the Explorer. Oh no, did you answer the question about the father
Oh,
dynamic?
my father. So my father. The last time I seen my father face to face, I was maybe 6, and
Okay,
we were dancing.
okay,
And I didn't see him my whole life until I turned about 22. I went looking for him because I was looking for him for a long time, and then I found him when I was like 22 or 23, and I started asking him about what kind of woman I should be if I wanted a husband.
wow.
And he said to me, I needed to be a hoe.
A what?
A hoe.
He should have stayed lost.
He should have stayed lost. He definitely should have stayed lost.
Yeah,
But he did say, be a freak. He was like, if you fuck him good, he'll want to be with you forever.
that's what your daddy taught you.
I was
Lord have
like,
mercy.
I was like, okay. You know what I mean? And I never talked to, well, I did. I tried to build a relationship with him, but he ended up having one of like his girlfriends call me and she was like, I was too grown. She was telling me I was too grown to be looking for my father and he ain't got no kids and she wanted DNA tests. And I'm like, why he let her call me? Anyway, I was like too grown for that. I was like, I'm good. So I stopped talking to him and then eventually he passed away. So yeah, so now I
Yeah.
was raised by my stepfather,
Okay.
but my stepfather was molesting me.
Okay.
So the way that
Okay.
I am with
Okay.
that is because his form of abuse was cleanliness. Like he
Yeah.
had like OCD, so he had me cleaning up shit after the dogs. He had me doing all the cooking. He had me cleaning up the kitchen and living room. And if I didn't clean up properly,
Hmm.
perfectly, I get my ass beat. You know what I mean? And he just slapped me around with like whatever was in his hand at the moment.
Hmm.
When I'm dating someone, what makes me attracted to a man is how clean he is. the cleaner he is, the more I like him.
Wow.
And that's kind of freaky deaky. I don't understand the psychology in that.
I'm trying to say how you were coexisting in the back of that Ford Explorer,
Well, that became an argument between us because we used to clean. He and I cleaned excessively because he was so clean too. He and I cleaned excessively. And then when I got pregnant, because I got pregnant, you know the live stream you seen of us talking about marriage?
Yeah.
He and I? That was the night my son was conceived.
Wow.
In that same damn room. That's why that live stream is so important. Like, because he and I was talking about kids and marriage in that live stream, and that was the day that my son was conceived.
Wow.
And after we got out of that specific hotel, because we was in a hotel room, we was at the Red Roof Inn, I think. And we stayed at the Red Roof Inn a lot. But as you know, hotels can be very expensive when you're living in them every day.
Absolutely.
You know, like that's a lot of money. So we eventually just started sleeping in the back of his Ford Explorer, and I'm washing up at Walmart parking lots, and I'm starting to notice I'm sick. Like, I'm starting to get sick, and I'm like, something feels wrong. I always had like this feeling I was pregnant. The whole time I was with him, I always had like this pregnancy energy. And I had fertility issues before then. Think about this. My daughter is 21. My son 4. That's a big age gap right there. So from the time between when I would stop being celibate and be inside of a relationship, I get in a relationship with a guy, he wants kids, and we can't even conceive any. I tried to conceive in other relationships and couldn't. And so here I am with this dude, and a pregnancy energy is just, I just keep it. I kept saying to him, I kept getting scared because my cycle, before I got pregnant with my son, my cycle came late twice. And I kept saying something, I feel like I'm pregnant. So then one day, he went to work, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a pregnancy test because maybe that's what's wrong with me because I don't feel well. And we were staying at another hotel at that time, and I took the test, came out positive. I put it in the bathroom when he came home. I said, when we came back to the hotel room, I said, look in the mirror, you know, look in the cabinet. Is something in there for you? And he opened it, and he was happy. He came out of the bathroom smiling, and he hugged me and kissed me, and then we had sex.
Did you think once you conceived you had him?
No, I thought I had him already.
I thought you had him before then. You didn't think you needed a baby to get him?
No. Why would I?
No, because I know women that think like that. No. I've heard a woman say out of her mouth, my only purpose for meeting a married man was to mess his whole world up. Got pregnant on purpose. I know women.
Do you? Okay. During this conversation,
I'm not asking you do that. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying, but during this conversation, have I come off at any moment in time where I was uncertain about whether he loved me or not?
No, that's why but I just got to ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some.
Yeah, I never looked at him as a married man. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. He always depicted himself as mine. I didn't have to like do these tricks and tactics.
You see what Sammy just said? You see what Sammy just said?
Of course,
Sammy just said that he was happy because now he has a lifelong link to you.
Sammy, you wanted something, bro. Yeah. He wanted something. I think that might have been it. Yeah. But then that don't make any sense because why doesn't he take care of his son?
He still got a link to you though.
Listen to this. So this is when stuff got bad on the internet. Mm-hmm. That is a good point, Sammy. That is you might be on something. Mm-hmm. But he was happy initially. And if you looked at that same video of he and I doing a live stream together, we was talking about kids. It's a pregnancy and delivery video. So it's as you start watching the entire video, you start to see him at the ultrasound and the look on his face. I don't know if you saw. Did you see it, James?
No, I don't remember that one. I might have saw it, but I don't remember it.
He had the pregnancy video is on my son's YouTube channel. My son's YouTube channel is called Raising Justice. Okay. RAESINGJUSTICE. Raising Justice. Mm-hmm. And it's a labor and delivery video. And inside of it is clips of he and I together. We at the monument. We at the Lincoln Memorial. We out taking pictures. We doing all types of stuff. And it shows us talking about marriage, talking about kids. And then it shows when we went to the ultrasound for my son.
Mm-hmm.
The look on this dude's face, that's
Mm-hmm.
when it hit him he was having a baby.
Yeah,
And
I can see
the
that.
look on his face, he was so disgusted with the
Wow.
idea of having a child,
The
because
reality set in.
the reality of it was setting in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine said they had an open marriage because of his ED. That makes sense why the wife didn't care.
Because
So
it
you
was
think
ED. His ED was ED.
erectile dysfunction? You said the sex was trash. I mean, well, that's my boy Mark would say
Your
trash. You
audience
said the
is
sex was horrible. So if the sex was horrible, she ain't got nothing to keep him home
I
about. I guess.
mean, she had it for 15 years. She was sleeping
Wow.
with somebody else.
The whole time?
I think around the time with the 2 years that they were supposedly separated, I think she was with somebody else. But when I got pregnant, it started to change. The dynamic started to change because she probably wanted to have kids with him.
Mm-hmm.
Those 15 years that they was together and they never had any children together. So to see him happy and in love and having a baby by somebody else probably made her feel some type of way. She started coming back around. This is when I started noticing he was changing, because he wasn't talking to her.
Okay.
He was leading me to believe he wasn't talking to her. So his behavior was like normal. He was the same guy until I got about 3 or 4 months pregnant. And then he started getting different.